Hey guys, it's the Strong Boys 19, and I haven't done an album review for quite a while, so I'm back to do another album review. And for this album review, I'm going to be reviewing the new Nile album, At the Gate of Sethu, which came out on June 29th this year. So the label for this album is Nuclear Blast Records, and if you are a big Nile fanatic, you will basically enjoyed this album a lot. Well, I am a Nile fan, but in my opinion, this album is, in my eyes, not one of the best releases of 2012 this year. But it's not a terrible album, it's still a cool album, but it's not that amazing for me to enjoy all of the songs. It has 11 tracks, and I have 8 out of 11 tracks. Now, this album is the follow-up to the band's predecessor album, Those Whom the Gods Detest, which came out 3 years ago in 2009. Now, this album is basically the same technical death metal, with a lot of amazing drumming and brilliant blast beats, and brutal heavy guitar riffs and amazing solos, and some really good vocals from Dallas and Carl Sanders. So, if you are a big Nile fanatic, then I suggest that you should definitely check out this album. And this album is just basically a cool Nile album, but it's not one of my favourites. So, my favourite Nile album so far is Annihilation of the Wicked. Annihilation of the Wicked is a masterpiece. I also enjoyed Those Whom the Gods Detest and Ithyphallic and all sorts. But Annihilation of the Wicked, in my opinion, beats all of the other albums. Feel free to disagree, but that's just me. So, there's been some good positives and some letdowns for me throughout this whole album. So let's get to the positives out of the way first. Okay, the guitar work from Dallas and Carl are just basically really well done, and there's been a lot of really good riffs on this album, including some good guitar solos that are just, sweep picking and all sorts, and the guitars are really well recorded. The drumming from George is absolutely outstanding. His skills on the drums are just, holy crap. And his drumming is, I think, a little bit faster than the other Nile albums put together. And his blast beats are just really mind-blowing, and he's done some other really good drum beats. So George is one of my favourite metal drummers of all time, and he's just a really, really good metal drummer. And also the bass guitar work, and Dallas did the bass guitar. The riffs on the bass are also great, and they're just sounded really fast, and it's just like the guitar work in every way. The music and the creativity throughout this whole album are really, really great. But besides, throughout the positives, like I said, there are some letdowns. Now, everything that I say about these letdowns are just basically opinions and my thoughts. So, I don't care if you just like to flay on my opinions. So, that's just the way it goes, okay? So, one of the letdowns on this album is the mixing. I thought the mixing was not really 100% perfect, but it's just sounded pretty cool, but I thought it was not really clear enough, like 100%. So the mixing is basically not that bad, and the production as well. I thought the production was not 100% either for me. It's just like the mixing in every way. The production is just very meh. That's how I feel with the production thing. It's just very mixed for me, and there's been a lot of really good albums that have been mixed really well and produced really well. But in this album was produced and mixed a little bit different from what I've heard on this album. So both of them are not horrible, but in my opinion they could be, a lot more improved. It's still, all 50% throughout the production and the mixing. And the vocals. The vocals to me sometimes are just a little bit weak. Not all of the vocals throughout all these songs are horrible. Most of them are really good, but I thought the growls and some other type of vocal, shouting type of vocals sounded, just really kind of weak. And I know I've just said that, but that's just how I feel about the vocals. So the vocals aren't just terrible, like I said, they're just fine. The artwork is really well done, and it's still the same as all the other Nile albums, just the same whole Egyptian subculture thing throughout all of this brutal, heavy technical death metal put together. And this album is not really horrible, but it's still a cool album for me to listen to, well, for not most of the time. I prefer Theae and Annihilation of the Wicked and some other Nile albums than this album, actually. The album rating for At the Gate of Sethu is 4 out of 5 stars. That's my album review for Nile's At the Gate of Sethu. Thanks for watching, and there's going to be more album reviews and more updates that are going to be appearing on my channel really soon. So keep it metal, guys.